Makaamaka. Entertainment and sports, Makaamaka. I say politics, Makaamaka. Royal Black Disease. Assembly Safwa, Bia Assembly Puno, Sanepi Adekami, Ekome Yakotokumi, Ekome Yamisebe, you want love fake hanye, Makaamaka. Royal Black Disease, Yaba, Makaamaka. All the trending issues, Makaamaka. I say politics, Makaamaka. Entertainment and sports, Makaamaka. RBJ Diaba, where you fool from crowd. Asemi Safwa, yeah, Asemi Puno. Sasemnaba, yeah, Becca. Senya Betino, Sabapefena, Becano. Makaamaka, I just am a quick day. What by you no ni one, no na care. What by you no ni one, no na care. Say your politics are. RBJ Becca, or Becca, a sponsor. RBJ Becca, or Becca, entertainment swear. RBJ Becca, or Becca, trending issues. RBJ Becca, or Becca. Makaamaka, yeah, diabao, yeah, Becca. Makaamaka, yeah, diabao, yeah, Becca.
Lolo, ekako ye, baby what ekako, you katana banyo. Give your leg back, plumb me. Lolo ya de kako ye, binami what ekako, lolo ye, lolo ye, you lolo ye, baby what lolo ye, you katana. Lenye be ya me wo kata lenya bon blole wo mutila. Ye ya nya de kako ye. Me tibe mafia. Is there a place for the hopeless sinner who has hurt all mankind just to save his own? Believe it.
My name is Eunice Cromwell and I'm the business manager of the Ghana National Council. Make sure you always watch Trend Africa TV.
Welcome to Africa.
What's up, people? It's your boy Royal Black Jesus, aka RBJ. You know what time is it? It's all about Maka Freestyle Sunday. And you better come on, bread. You go to Ghana, I mean, wherever you are, make sure you share this page because it's gonna be boom. It's gonna be fire. Someone, Michelle, me Jesse now. My Michelle, me Jesse now. As a Michelle, Michelle and Jesse now. Man City for life. And then you travel, you travel churches so seriously. Now, you better do come on sports, trending issues in political arena. What is going on in the political arena? You didn't have a bam. Diego Siwo, Ghana be an Ebama. You will take a quick break when I come back. I'm gonna bring my pundit in, my people, the team. We're gonna talk about whatever that's going on in Ghana. It's your boy Rob Black Jesus, aka RBJ. The name still remain Black Jesus. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll dive into our conversation.
Chocolate is the first luxury. It has so many things wrapped up in it. Deliciousness at the moment, childhood memories, and that grind-inducing feeling of getting a reward. Now think about it. Chocolate presented as things you love the most. Yes, and edible too. Try our chocolate shoes and your love for chocolate will go a notch higher. You will never see chocolate just as a bar. Your imagination will go wild. Go ahead, take a bite. Kabi.
Kebi.
All right, Kebi. That's the chocolate. Madam Odoide, who chocolate? And now, I didn't know we bring them. You
Oh yes, who melt now with the strawberry?
No. All right. So the team is set. The conversation is ready. We have on board the original, the one and only, the sexy mama, the one and only that have the sex therapy, the whole world, the Audra adult in the building with me today. We're gonna have some conversation. Also, we have in the building the one and only, the guru, the political masterpiece in the building as well. Alfred Amos will bring us the political news and everything, the saga, everything that is going on in Ghana. Yes, Alfred have a big fish on his side. That was yesterday. We're going to talk about it. We have Alfred, who did you bring on board? One of the big fish. Who is that?
I don't know. I didn't know if I brought a fish. Yeah, so Saturday we actually had an opportunity to talk to Sami Jemfi, who is
Nice.
the communications officer of NDC. Very well spoken gentleman. You know, the conversations was fire. If you haven't seen that, go to Ghana Agenda or even on Trend Africa. The video is there. You can take a look. It was so informative. There was so much disclosed. He talked about how Ghana is being run by our president. He said our president is not running the country. He's chilling. And we'll talk about that today. So
wow.
Stay tuned.
There's a lot. I know Adra don't never like that. So there's a lot of what do you call it? Agree and disagree. We'll be on the point today. Today we will miss a lot of materials. We've missed the likes of Q the Queen, the likes of Berry, the likes of Bogawan, and all that. But we'll hope for the next week we will have all of them back and then we'll have a full house. So and then everything come with Bree. But we'll start with sports. I mean, we've never done sports like that before, but it looks like this sports are there. Yeah, so so we'll start with sports and see what is going on in the sports arena. We'll have a special guest. Papa Odot will be with us. Maybe we might not see his face, but we might get some things from him behind the Mami Odot's camera and things like that. But if we can get him on board too, I can get back the crowd. But all the same, no, it's all good. First of all, let me bring my political guru in and tell us how the week you call it. Alfred, give us how your week went, and then let's
so go. Black, as you know, I'd had a long week. Both at work and at home, and on the road, because at some point I had to run to New York and meet my guests for the week, did some video work, etc. Came back home, edit, and got the program going yesterday. So it was a busy week, but I'm happy it's Sunday, and you know what happens on Sunday. If it is Sunday, it's Makaamaka, and I'm happy to be here.
Nice one. We're gonna bring our sister in, the sexy mama, the one and only, who will give you the sex therapy. Mommy, that is it.
Yes, so I don't need
decided some special pink and I said,
I don't know. It just happens, you know. We are nice because me who close to Nana and who say, oh, by all means, or ovation to Jesse, because with the victory, you cannot help it.
Yeah. I mean, weeks like this where Manchester United almost won the game, you have to wear pink in appreciation. So
almost, dear. When it comes to that, so almost is not good enough.
I'm trying to think. Into red no na odi be a bit fresh mu kra na
Me bibi kakra bi film.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay. So how's your week, man? How's your week?
Oh, my week has been very pleasant, and amazing. Like throughout the week, work, paperwork, craziness, but I always every time piano me pemre mama who self-care yes me because it's a meant to me and then I do my cardio, because I say enyum eyema ni pediano any so eti mu most of the time no K likes music Chiamia J and I love music it's like maybe no fear has say Uber has say you always hear like music
nice one.
And then the tune free living room has say because every time I just wanted to like be in his space today.
I know say ni son na nyama hu anya problem any problem.
Obey anything. I mean, first of all, we are and we are beba. So because sometimes sometimes a bus sports as they say or my best sports. Into any sports, Saturdays, and Sundays, whatever game they playing now, many need to one
that's right.
And, I can tease him, support him, and do other things. And like it just go either way for me.
All right.
I just love it because Chelsea lose, so I want to do well. That time I me because we need team yeah.
My only the answer game no you be Man United. I only the answer.
that one man you know I can't.
Only the answer game no.
I would done a nimpa and that mo be no. Hey, brother Fred.
My only for phobia answer game that started.
Hey, what and you be because said there be a chance lose so me kun enti me dinner ne ho nto because what did you know yeah
and I have but I take a quick break I know say you better say benya papa do kakra wo I know that this is a special request. I mean, we want to surprise.
Hey, can you give us like a minute or
two? So we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get our special guest in there. Then we'll talk about sports a little bit, maybe 15-20 minutes sports. And this is the first time Makaamaka will start with sports. Alfred is there with their superstar Ronaldo, and I don't even know what to say. So we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get a special guest in the building to let's talk about sports and see how we can better our teams or how we can support our teams in the best way. So in 24, share page because this is Makaamaka Freestyle Sunday. Let's go.
The creator. Makaamaka. Royal Black says the Abba. Makaamaka. Entertainment and sports. Makaamaka. I say politics. Makaamaka. Royal Black says. Assembly Safwa. Bia Assembly Puno. Sane Pia de Kami. Ekome ya Kotokumi. Ekome ya Misegbe. You want love fake hanye. Makaamaka. Royal Black says the Abba. Makaamaka. All the trending issues. Makaamaka. I say politics. Makaamaka. Entertainment and sports. Makaamaka. RBJ the Abba. Where you full from cry. Asemi Safwa. Yeah, Asemi Puno. Sasem no ba. Yeah, dear, yeah, Becca. Senya Betino. Sapepe na ye Becca no. Makaamaka. Akesane kwetewo. Wabaye no ni wona je no na ke. Wabaye no ni wona je no na ke. Say your politics RBJ Becca or Becca. A sports RBJ Becca or Becca. Entertainment to her. RBJ Becca, or Becca, trending issues. RBJ Becca, or Becca. Makaamaka, yeah, diabao, yeah, Becca. Makaamaka, yeah, diabao, yeah, Becca. Royal Black, you says, diabao, yeah, Becca. Royal Black, you says, diabao, yeah, Becca. Assembly, some.
To advertise with us, donate sponsorships and suggestions, email us at trendafricatv@gmail.com or call us on 773-312-0318 or 773-756-6678. Remember to also follow and like us as Trend Africa TV on Facebook so you can always catch us live. On Instagram as Trend Africa TV 123 or subscribe to our YouTube channel as Trend Africa TV and click on the notification button to watch previous shows. You can also visit our website for your African news, entertainment, fashion and sports updates on www.trendafricaonline.net. Trend Africa TV, redefining Africa.
We are redefining African pa.
Okay, Brother Black, I chiamia jaba. To wait me a busano.
Jamia, okay, good. Papa, the way there, like I said, no, you have 5 minutes of your time to come on the screen now. You know what to dream Makaamaka because I can sense that you have the technical know-how when it comes to sports, especially soccer. No, now you don't come on because Chelsea, Man City, and Man U, it's here. Let's talk. It's where the Papa. That's right. That's right.
Come and step out and slow.
Next week, 5 minutes, man. I saw Chelsea. So I saw Chelsea now. Who said one?
Oh, me step.
That's right.
Ah, what's that? Oh, how about you?
You still have to represent.
Uncle shop pink, no, Uncle pink.
Hey, brother Alfred, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised.
Hey!
That's what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about.
That's what's up.
Alfred, what's up with you?
Oh, I'm good. Media, measure pink now.
All right. So let's get this. Let's get this going. Papa, though, wait the first time. You're welcome, and some, because of your first time.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
We are so happy to have you. And right, your boy, Chelsea, Man City, and Man U team called the boy. I don't even know. I don't want to go. But let's talk about Chelsea, Man City. What went wrong?
No, grab your Man City, okay.
You see, Chelsea, Man City, no. Then they buy it.
Oh, yeah. You mean more dear? To be frank, me and Rano. I never want too much. Be I said you lose too much because it's not easy. You show me before you show me. I say some Champions League. I show me. At the cap, no. I'm a new Super Cup where I signed. Just say almost be a buffon a band. Right? Just say no match in the me not losing. We'll say many times before kind. Some match we say 50-50. Will be a bit and would come only or many just me in the kind. And a football so there is either win, lose, or draw.
That's right.
It's not there about Kube lose. And yet draw, also about lose. Yeah, I'm fan so be I say be a losing,
Now, who can be about Man U? Then of course, now just share with you. Now, move bump as a Man U will lose one.
I don't try somebody. I'm in Pesamica because you lose too much, I know my boy. Just another me feel saying a draw crampono. Now to the extent say, now here the end of the day, at least a Man City, Chelsea, two.
That's right.
Now more the end there, Man U, a whole Man U with Aston Villa. Oh, come on. I am home so.
Man, you know, yenim say referees ni nyina omo pese on be my penalties. Because if you look at it,
Because man you referees favor me too much.
oh, there. Anyway, 2 penalties. Omo my back. So I mean, if you look at it, you know, it's the same thing.
Want to say rocket. Say here, and when you be na here,
yeah.
Video be nam social media you see Nima boys in shisha board no still omo shisha board no one real more baby. Oh man. All right.
Yeah.
Me who my man you.
Oh, Mr. Me real who. Alfred. So
yeah.
do you think that Mutimu are ready? Do you think that you guys can compete on to at least to the title?
I mean, we can even win the title. Look at it. Last year, when we didn't have all the players we have now, like we didn't have Ronaldo, we didn't have Varane, we didn't have Sancho. In fact, Sancho even hasn't got heated yet. He's still trying to fill the game, so he's not really caught fire yet. So if you remember, Ole, what is his name, Crampo? Ole, right?
Your coach.
One thing that happens is sometimes he loses 1 or 2, 3 games, and then he goes on these winning streaks. This season, he hasn't really started the winning streaks yet. So these are the very few games. I mean, we are 5 games into the season, right? This is the 5th game in the season. So we are in early days. We're talking about 40-game season. So we are in super early days. We have 35 more matches to play. So I would say everybody should come down.
Oh, yeah.
This is very, very early days.
It's too early to say. Rebecca said will be it's too early.
Yeah, and if you look at it, even though Man United lost, we are 1 point away from the top of the table. So 1 point away from the top of the table. So there you go.
Now say
yeah, Obia. I mean, we are all equal now, right?
So, 4 teams at the time. Yeah, 13.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but we are the ones with Ronaldo, the Brunos, the Varanes, the Pogba. Our team this year. I mean, Lukaku. We saw Lukaku. Lukaku, his first touch. Lukaku, we figured him out. All you have to do for Lukaku is target his first. When he gets a pass, target that first shots because his first touches are always bad. And so everybody knows him in the Premier League. It may be in Italy that they didn't know him and he was successful there. But here in the Premier League, we know Lukaku.
Lukaku, man, top player, pal.
Why?
Lukaku. Onyadio.
I mean, he scores goals.
He scores. On your chance, no quad Now football is about what? It's not about goals.
There's some big teams you cannot make that name. I'll give you a very good example. Just time I'm in the war, they have a serious striker from Italy, Shevchenko. And Shevchenko's style and Lukaku is almost the same. I mean, they don't really know how to tap the ball. They don't have that skillful, and me say moto na me say mato modi you color TV akoto black and white.
I mean, if you look at Chelsea standard, no, he fits their standard. But now Man United standard, we there in Hong Kong. We there, we don't. We are Ronaldo. We are Ronaldo.
Ronaldo akokre. No, Ronaldo akokre. I mean, so. Sunny all star now or you in nice save. You say for but who young casting for let me share a man and not for 90 minutes. 90 minutes,
yeah, but game yeah, I don't know. Bruno, we could have drawn that. We could have, drawn that game. We could have been 1-1. But it's football, right? You have penalty. Look at what he did. I thought that penalty should have been taken by Ronaldo. Ronaldo likes pressure. Under pressure, everybody's watching him. That's Ronaldo. Yeah. But for whatever reason, Bruno.
penalties. Now Ronaldo by free kick amode mano.
Ronaldo by na ye number 7 in Cavani the mano. Enti Ronaldo dey yen mi say Ronaldo. I just we'll keep that just say with Cavani, but we took it. Ronaldo is Ronaldo. Ronaldo comes, everything changes. Ain't he? Bruno, national team, only Ronaldo they about the same national team. Now no, only Ronaldo team national team no about penalty that.
That is the
about
question I
club
want
side.
to ask. Yeah,
Where
that's
is
the question I
Premier
want
League?
to
Where
ask.
in a country?
But still, I mean, Ronaldo is Ronaldo. Come on, we got penalty with Ronaldo.
Ronaldo grab a heavy and come on, baby, a ball, grab it.
Oh man.
Ronaldo grab boy and come on, baby, and come on,
Let's look
why you go crowd?
But the last game against who did we play? Was he Southampton or whatever? He was the fastest runner on the pitch. His statistics are crazy. He's running better than everybody on the pitch, the highest speed. At that age, he's still, hitting those numbers. It's crazy. Yeah.
True, mommy. Yeah. Still, he exercise. And I'm wanting it there. And in the
Yeah.
but Sunday crisscross near you need
And in football sense, how to be in that, how to be getting the balls at the right time, not be offside and all that. This football sense is crazy. Only Cavani, if we get Ronaldo and Cavani starting 90 minutes of a game, it's gonna be crazy because the two of them, the football sense is crazy.
So let's look at the coaching tactics, no? Like what you just said.
Oh my God, our coach,
Ronaldo, Cavani, under one coach, Chelsea, Lukaku, under this coach, no. Man City, someone him say, we don't play with strikers, we play with schemers. Yeah, we are masterpiece. We don't talk.
Wow.
Yeah, masterpiece. And so let's look at these two coaches. You guys have one of the
and so we are the masterpiece. We are the champions.
Send the chairman. The chairman. Why lucky? So let's look at this. Ole, with Man U, what do you think this year you will bring? Because Ole have never coached a character like Ronaldo. And to know how does the dressing room and all this thing, do you think say Ole can handle a team like Man U as of today?
Who do you want to go first? Me?
Yeah, you. Man U.
Well, the thing about Ole is he's a nice guy. He makes everybody get along so nicely. When he doesn't get along with you, he gets you out of the team. Like he didn't get along with Lukaku, so Lukaku has to go. All the people he didn't get along with, he sold them. So Ole is that, Mr. Nice Guy, bring everybody together, let's work together. But you don't win games being nice. The coach has to be tough in the mind. The coach has to take actions that the players may not like. There has to be a little bit of fight within the team to make it competitive for them to win games. But Ole's style is a little too nice. I do not think Ole would take. I think Ole should be gone. There are coaches out there. There is what is the old Chelsea coach? The one who everywhere he goes, they win titles. What is his name?
Mourinho.
Not Mourinho. The Italian guy, the crazy Italian guy.
Oh, Ancelotti.
Mancini.
Oh, the one that just left and went to Inter, and Inter won the title, and he left Inter.
What's his name? Oh, what? The Italian coach. I see the one. Is it not Mancini? I forgot the name, but I know the coach. The Inter, the one.
I know Ancelotti.
No. The coach you guys fired before you bought this guy. Conte. Conte is there.
Conte.
I mean, Conte is there. So with Conte being out of work and Ole has whole Man United, it's amazing. Ole can manage Man United to any. He's been there. He couldn't even win a Carabao Cup. So Ole has taken us to several finals. We've been to so many different finals, but that little final tactical piece, he just doesn't seem to get it. So I think while he's a good coach, he's done so well since he came to the team. We've either been third or second every year, but just cracking into that first position, I think he's gonna find it difficult. And I am predicting that he gets sacked before the end of the year.
Papa, Chelsea, amazing. Last year, this coach Obe transforming team with the same materials that it has been there when Lampard was there. Why are you up to Saturday? Do you think he just went technically bankrupt yesterday, and as he just did the wrong selection for Man City game.
And no, and I'm said selection wasn't too good. And I'm said formation of the boy and so no. Yes, because and Man City for they came with full attack.
Yeah.
Papa midfield one, they almost dominate one. Just say and now you're born here. So I'm saying no selection and Kuya my Chelsea. Kuya my Chelsea because and when I see my team pass, I say coach team be a nominee Man City for neighbor.
Yeah, but
it was half pack.
It was half pack. Yeah. No, totally half pack.
A whole shot on goal. Yeah, Nebi. No, Manyabi. Yeah, shot on goal.
No shot on goal. That is very.
So the one Lukaku missed, that pass from
right from the
right. Oh yeah, those one.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say. Well, he left Havertz on bench, which I don't know why would you would do that. Maybe you are resting him for Champions League, but leaving Havertz on the bench. Havertz is one of your best players.
Oh yeah.
And then Kovacic is on bench. I'm like, I mean, come on. Those are the things that I think he didn't do it because the midfield was non-existent. City dominated the
when
midfield.
you play with City, know that your midfield will be taken from you. So you have to have plan B. I think yesterday with Chelsea, I just want to put something in. Even though I love that Chelsea lost because I hate Chelsea to the bone.
We all lost.
I think Chelsea with Lukaku and this German striker, what's his name?
Timo Werner.
The Werner guy, no.
Werner.
Their connection.
One more.
I don't think their connection is
it doesn't work.
It will never work. So the two top that he played, was a totally mistake because.
You think so? I disagree though. I think Werner was running into the spaces, fetching the ball and doing the cross into the box. It's just that unfortunately Lukaku didn't catch that ball well. Otherwise, they would have taken even the lead. So
I'm telling you, my brother, next year we are going to buy Werner because we love the way he played. We want a force striker like that, somebody who have the eye
and he got the speed.
Yes. We need
very fast.
And his crosses are very good.
His crosses are good,
but
to shoot in the net is a problem.
Yeah.
He second guesses a little bit too much. He just need to go in.
Because sometimes mano to mano, and he goddamn misses it, and I'm like, what the hell?
And let me ask. I know, Man U have the style of having two pivot midfielders. And they have a ball, a midfielder that can hold the ball, like someone like Pogba and things like that. They can hold ball and give you some. When the good day, they can give you some serious passes. Look at the game yesterday with Chelsea, Man U, City and Chelsea. It seems like Chelsea doesn't have that type of material. He doesn't have a playmaker. What I'm trying to say. Maybe I'm lying. I don't watch Chelsea's game like that. But yesterday, it looks like they don't have somebody who can hold ball and get some fouls and things like
that. That's Kante for you. That's Kante. That's Kovacic. I mean,
Kante doesn't hold ball. Kante is more of the, the obstruction type of player.
Yeah, disrupt play.
We need somebody
get the ball and he passes on. I mean, it's not a point of holding the ball, right? It's a point of getting the right pass. And Kante does that all the time. But and he has some good range on him too.
Because we put somebody on him. We put Rodriguez on him, and then we all saw what happened.
Yesterday, he didn't see, like yesterday was like, when he took Kante out, right? Kante went out, right?
Yeah.
That was the moment that I realized that Kante was in the game. I didn't realize
That's right. Thank you.
No, seriously, because yesterday I was driving, so I have to ask Kay to put the thing on my phone. So I was listening to it. And then when the halftime came, I had to drop off my big sister. So I had the chance to look on the screen, and I realized Kante was going out. And I was like, holy shit, he was in there?
Kante was totally off. So we played 10 against 11 right there. But let's give a very round of applause to Chelsea's goalkeeper. I think one of the best.
Mendy.
Mendy is the best. Mendy is the best.
Like 4 goals.
Yeah.
They were having like 4 goals.
Mendy is so good. He's so good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, Chelsea, Man U. I mean, we know what it is. Champions League
I
prediction,
mean,
and I'll let Papa Dog go because I think he has somewhere to go.
right.
Chelsea, I have a what do you call Champions League coming up. Man U have a Champions League coming
with
up, right?
Juventus.
Wow, another trouble team.
Yes, yes.
Another trouble.
It's not easy.
Well, I think you guys will beat Juventus easy. That's no big
so
deal.
easy, so easy.
Yeah.
Okay. Man U, what do you think?
Well, we have Villarreal. Villarreal was, they beat us in the finals of European last year. So it's revenge season, and
Okay.
I think this time around, but we are missing some key players. What is the name? Maguire is injured. And then our left back, Luke Shaw, is injured as well. So that may be a little bit of a problem with us, especially with Maguire being gone. Our coach is so strange. I know he's going to use Lindelof. Eric Bay is there. I love Eric Bay when he's defending. He makes some mistakes sometimes, but I'd rather play Eric Bay versus Lindelof. But I know him. He's going to go with Lindelof. And our problem is our coach, because I say football is a 12-man game. It's 11 people on the pitch and the coach. So if you have a bad coach, it's the game is always up in the air. So I don't know how it's going to end. Chances are we're going to beat the hell out of them because we've lost our last game. So, I mean, who wants to lose the third one? We are going there with revenge. Ronaldo, 4 goals.
Hey!
Love him.
All right, you guys, what do you think about Man City PSG? I think that's the final match. Because we're going to face PSG, right? Man City.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's going to be a very, very tough
match. Yeah.
But it looks like PSG is having a problem with Messi. There's something going on.
I don't think it's Messi. It's Neymar and Kylian Mbappe having problems.
Oh yeah,
Neymar says Kylian Mbappe said Neymar doesn't pass to him. He does not pass the ball to him for whatever reason.
And that thing is very, very bad in football. When that thing starts to happen, the team is going
Are you gonna say because of the Messi
arrival,
Messi being part of the 3? I think that is it. All right. So Messi,
I think can I put my 2 cents in? Because like when what's this guy? Neymar went to Barcelona, like he went into the team with Messi being the whole team, right? Then he came to PSG and he has made a name for himself, and all of a sudden the one person that he was playing under has been is transferred has finally joined them. So
going to the mercenaries.
He's trying to establish his place and let him know that this is my thing, this is my territory. Like I'm no longer going to be like the underdog, right? And sometimes when it gets to that, with the emotional adrenaline going on, his football is not going to be as tactical or practical or whichever way that most of us will want to see him play, because Neymar is a really good footballer. Messi is a good footballer, but
it's not between Messi and
the other guy that you guys mentioned,
Mbappe,
because I think Neymar is trying to establish, because Messi is there, so he's trying to like establish something or prove himself. So he's being selfish with the ball, and when you have players being selfish with the ball, it will cause the whole team a lot.
I think.
So let me tell you some story about that, right? So when Neymar had his debut in Barcelona, there was a penalty, and Messi usually takes penalties. But that day, Messi gave the ball to Neymar. Neymar scored in Barcelona on Neymar's debut.
Right.
This time around, there was a penalty in PSG with Messi, on the team, and that was Messi's debut in their home stadium.
At least to score 1 goal.
Neymar did not give him the ball.
Yeah.
So that should tell you where this is going.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah. That is why I said there's a problem. Later. I think with Man City game, is this is it Tuesday? I think they'll play Tuesday.
Yeah, I think it's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday, right? So that very game will let us know what is really going on in PSG.
Yeah. The two of them.
Yeah. Because
That's
I personally think that because of the shadows of Messi trying to cover these two, and there's a lot of confusion going on. It has happened before in Real Madrid time when they have all these superstars in their team. They didn't go nowhere because of playing challenges. But I'm hoping that Messi. I mean, Messi is Messi. Messi has done what he has done. He has done what he has.
yeah.
You know, he's Messi, man. Come on.
He's a legend.
He's a legend. I mean, so we'll
So
see
it's
how
gonna
it
be
goes.
3 p.m. on Tuesday.
3 p.m.
Can I have
Oh,
your
3
permission?
p.m. Central Time.
Yes.
Can I have your permission to fall out? Yeah.
Yes. Papa, though, you've done well so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you so much for coming in.
But move boy United and Paucho Bebre, the Fufuobi.
Yeah. When he say November, no more trick actually. Yeah, person bantam here some no more
Papa,
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching.
All right. So we are set.
Mami, over to me, SWAT TV, put it on. It makes it look nice.
Okay.
Yeah, the TV make it look nice, like and then you've taken the the studio, the best studio for the week.
I know, right?
You've taken the best studio for the week. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives some another. It's good. It gives us some studio.
Another distraction.
Yeah. So let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll dive into our conversation with what do you call it? What do you call it? Alfred Amuzu will bring us
political issues. Sure,
yes,
let's
so
go.
Tell us what is going on with your interview with the what's the guy's name?
Sammy Gemfi.
Man, that guy is very smart guy, man.
Very smart guy.
I think this guy can be a president one day. I think so.
Yep.
I know that will not buy that one, but
My name is Eunice Cromwell, and I'm the business manager of the Ghana National Council. Make sure you always watch Trend Africa TV.
All right, Tim, we are back, and then let's bring Alfred on board. Alfred Amos, the political guru, will take us into the political space and tell us what is going on in Ghana. All right, my brother, let's go.
All right. So, Black, thanks for bringing me up for the political session. In this session, I wanted to talk about the United Nations General Assembly, which just completed their 76th meeting, where Akufo-Addo actually gave a speech. He talked about how he wants to continue to build Ghana beyond aid. He also talked about the fact that the G20 of countries, the most powerful 20 countries in the world, has formed this G20, and he wanted Africa to also have a seat among the 20 powerful nations, because Africa has about 1.3 billion people, and for it not to be represented on the most powerful 20 countries in the world, it's something the world should look at. And he made it a point that, having Africa, or giving Africa a seat at the table, it's not like you're giving one country a seat at the table. You're giving a whole continent a seat at the table. And that's, like I've already said, 1.3 billion people. So that was the highlights of his speech. But one thing from the speech that I think is going to be problematic going forward is he's still continuing to say that, he wants to build Ghana beyond aid. But if you look at what that means, is that we are not going to take aid from any other country, blah, 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 which is a good thing. We all want a Ghana self-reliant and not having to depend on other countries. But if you listen closely to what is going on in the world now, all these countries, as part of a sustainable development project or program or growth program that they are embarking on, every single country has what we call a nationally determined, they call it NDCs, nationally determined commissions or whatever they call it. So basically they are committing to reduce their use of carbohydrates or reduce carbon consumptions, fossil fuel being one of them. Reason is we are seeing the climate changes that we are going through. We are seeing the hurricanes, the floods, some earthquakes, etc. So the more carbon we release into the atmosphere, the more it exacerbates those climatic conditions, which usually happens in poor or third world countries, mostly in the South American country and sometimes in Africa. So even though we are not the most emitters of carbon, we suffer the most. And so countries are pretty much going into this commitment, which is non-binding. They don't have to, nobody's going to force them to, but they, themselves are committing to reducing their consumption of carbohydrate or carbon-related energy products. So everybody's switching to like solar, thermal, all these other, renewable source of energy. Now, the reason this is important is in the past, the West and, European countries, America, dependent on dirty energy, like the carbon energy, to build their economies. It's cheaper. And now that Africa, where some of those, sources of energy come from, like Ghana, we discovered oil not too long ago in 2011, and we have so much of that trapped underground. Now they are telling us, oh, by the way, we don't want to use oil no more. So that means the resources that we have that we are going to use to develop our economy so that we can become as powerful as them, they are turning around and telling us, oh, we're not going to use them no more. We are not even going to allow banks to have the financing or to give loans to companies who want to go to Africa and exploit our oil. So our oil is going to be strapped underground. So this is one of the reasons why even the government is getting involved in the upstream of our oil production. In other words, we are trying to form companies using GMPC and go into other partnerships so that we can drill our own oil, and we need to do it quicker, because the longer it takes for us to do so, our oil will not be, bought by any other country in the world. And the European Union is actually doing something interesting. They are bringing a tax regime or a levy regime for countries that use a lot of carbons to produce products. For instance, if you're bringing any product from Ghana, because you rely heavily on petroleum products a source of energy to produce this product, when you take your product to the European Union, they want to put additional taxes on it. And any country that deals with the European Union would also have to comply with that regulation. And we are talking about not only in the European Union, but the United States is contemplating the same thing. And so we are not getting any break. In other words, they are trying to bar us from relying on the same carbon technology that they use to develop. And this is one of the questions I posed to Sami Jemfi, who is the national communicator for the NDC, communication officer for the NDC. And he also had accepted or agreed with me that, yes, we have to go into these partnerships and get the oil out very quickly. But we have to keep our eyes open when we are doing these agreements, because some of the propositions that they took to Parliament has to kind of carry down and ask them to go back and negotiate and have a proper agreement in place so that we can get our oil out of the ground before they become stranded or before they become unuseful. We have oil under the sea, but we also have oil actually on the ground. There's a thing called Votane Basin, which is land oil on our land in Ghana, not under the sea, but even our land itself in Ghana, we have oil under there. And we have to drill all this, or otherwise it's going to be trapped. And the West and Europe don't want to buy oil no more because it is polluting the environment, and they want to get away from that and use renewable sources of energy. Now, so that is one thing. Other conversations I've had with Sami Jemfi, which actually aired yesterday, bordered around our economy, whether we are developing slowly because of COVID. And he made it a point that COVID is not an issue in Ghana. Because if you look, the revenue or the monies that we generate from tax, the tax revenue that we get in 2019 was $43 million. 43 billion. We said we were going to get 45 billion in 2020. We ended up getting close to, we were about 2 billion short. And in 2020, so 2019 we got 43. In 2020 we said we were going to get 45, and we got 44. So we were short. But the Ghana Revenue Authority declared that they've met their revenue target in 2020. How is it that COVID has impacted you, but at the same time you met your revenue targets? That means COVID hasn't had any impact at all. Even though in terms of collection of revenue, COVID didn't have any impact on the country. When it came to expenditure, we spend it so much. In fact, the media review budget says that Ghana spent $100 million just buying Veronica buckets and masks for secondary school students. How many secondary schools do we have in Ghana? And how do we spend $100 million just on Veronica buckets and face masks for secondary schools? So these are some of the things that he referred to as, it's mismanagement. That is our problem. Mismanagement, corruption, opulence living by the president. He made it clear that in the middle of the pandemic, other African countries' presidents coming into the United Nations, some of them flew their plane, their own national plane, which is the Falcon 900. He was referring to Zambia. We have the same Falcon 900. Our president, when he was going to UK, chartered a plane that was costing the country $20,000 an hour. When he was coming to the US, he chartered another one that was costing the country $14,000 an hour. Even if the plane is parked and it's not moving, it was costing the Ghanaian $14,000 an hour. A Namibian president actually flew business with 3 entourage coming into the United Nations. These, he said, are countries that care about their people in the middle of a pandemic where we said, oh, he has impacted the economy. We know he didn't impact the economy. Our president is living luxury. In fact, he has given our Falcon 900, which is our national plane, to George Weah, the president of Liberia, to fly 2 times already just last week. When he was coming to Accra for the ECOWAS extraordinary session, he flew Ghana's national plane, which is the Falcon 900. On his way back, he flew the same thing. So our president has changed and rendered our national plane as a trotro for his friends. When he himself will charter big planes that will cost the Ghanaians a lot of money going to Europe or whether he's going to. And so the president, he said, he's not ruling Ghana. He's chilling. This is somebody who is just fulfilling his childhood ambitions. He's not paying. There were so many, like for instance, he talked about the fact that when we had a successful election in 2012, we qualified to get another tranche of the Millennium Challenge funding from the United States. Something Kufuor got. The first one, Kufuor got and used it for the N1. The second one was supposed to be, something the United States was giving us almost $500 million for us to use to solve our distribution of power, electricity. We were supposed to, use that money to solve that problem. We had a generation problem under John Mahama. He fixed it going out, but we still have a distribution problem. So we were going to use that money they were going to give us to solve that problem. But the president used his friends to form a company called PDS, gave ownership to somebody who was a barber, a barber shop owner. Philip Ayensu was a barber shop owner who hurriedly formed a company and went into some partnerships and then used that partnership to form a PDS. And they were given a contract to, manage our ECG. Bought all ECG assets. They've been collecting, payment from people for a whole year, and even some of the, qualifications they needed to get that contract were not there. They were supposed to give a bank guarantee. They changed the bank guarantee to an insurance guarantee, which wasn't the case. And even the insurance guarantee they brought to get that contract turned out to be fraudulent because the company who gave the insurance guarantee, Akuk, said they are not familiar with that guarantee that the government presented. And this is our president. So it is like giving this government 4 more years would destroy the country. Like he said, this is the one government of Ghana who has so many resources. Under John Dramani Mahama, they only had 1 oil field, the Jubilee oil field, right? Yeah. But John Mahama has invested so much so that by the time he was leaving office, they added 2 more oil fields. They added 2 more oil fields to the Sankofa and the 10 to the Jubilee oil field. It is only Akufo-Addo that had 3 oil fields running simultaneously. It is only in Akufo-Addo that has so much revenue. We were not drilling. Now we are actually drilling about 200 barrels per day. Under John Mahama, we were barely scratching 100 barrels. But this government has that much resources. And in addition to that, they actually took so much loan. When the NDC government was leaving power, the Ghana's total loan was about 120 billion. But this government has increased it almost to 260 billion. They've added 260 billion to that. Imagine. All governments before Akufo-Addo borrowed 120 billion, but Akufo-Addo's government alone added 260 billion. But then you ask yourself, okay, they have all this oil revenue, they have all these borrowings they did. What do they have to show for it? And you cannot point to a single secondary school that was built by the Akufo-Addo administration, or you cannot point to a single hospital that they've built. Not a single one. Even the interchange they just commissioned at Pokwasi, that was already contracted, funded. Contractors were ready on site before the administration, the Mahama administration left office. So what has Akufo-Addo used all these monies for? And if you look, they use it on fraud and spending. They use it on fraud and spending on free things, like we're going to do free SHS, free one district, one factory, and we can't even find the factories. There is nothing. They spend the money on chilling, on taking planes, hiring planes. The president flying from this country to that country. And these are been his submissions. Everything he said is on the Ghana agenda. If you're interested in getting the facts, what has happened over the last almost 5 years under the Akufo-Addo administration, please go and watch the program. This guy is very eloquent, very smart, and like Black is saying, there is a bright future for him, and he's happy to join the show.
I think I don't have so much to ask and talk, because she's
absolutely
patiently listening and licking her lips like, okay, just learn, let me give you something. So Adwa, go ahead.
Yeah. I think your mic is off. I can't hear you.
No, I'm not thinking about anything. I mean, I said my piece last week that I don't deal with hearsay, assumption, and accusation. Brother Alfred, are you a neutral person with Ghana agenda, or like you have a
agenda?
What? Here's the thing. I mean, what we are saying are facts, right? So, as a concerned Ghanaian, if this president is the one president who has the most resources, you should expect him to show something for it. You should expect something. But we have not seen anything. That is the problem. So, it's not like there's a party I belong to, or there's a party. Of course, everybody have the admiration for one or the other party, right? There's no neutral person out there. But here's my thing. If the president has the most resources and took the most loans, shouldn't you expect him to have built something with that money or done something with the money? There's nothing to show for it. We don't see anything. Tell me what this president actually built. Zero, nothing. Agenda 111, like he said, is just a slogan. They've promised 88 how many years ago? And we've still not seen a single one built. So when are they going to build anything? That is the question we are asking. You don't have to be a political party. You don't have to belong to a specific political party to have these views. These are critical questions that every Ghanaian should ask. How much has been made available to this government, and what do they have to show for it? And there's nothing.
Okay, I mean, like, I understand your argument, where you coming from. And of course, as a citizen of Ghana, like, some of us are living in abroad, others are like, dealing with everything that's happening within the country. Your views and other people's views who supports the president are totally different. You may not be seeing anything or nothing at all, but people that supports him and respect him may think differently from where you coming from.
So are you saying the people who support him are seeing something that we are not seeing because they have a different set of eyes? I mean, if there is a building the president built, like they are saying, John Dramani Mahama had less than half what Akufo-Addo had as a president. But you can see Ridge Hospital, you can see the Maritime Hospital, you can see expansion of Terminal 3, you can see the Tema Harbor expanded, you can see Kotokraba Market, you can see KJTR Market, you can see things after things that this guy did. So what has Akufo-Addo done? That is the question. You saw the highway he did. You saw the Passover he did at Circle. You saw the Kaswa. You saw the contract he put together for Pokwasi before he left. You saw the Temamoto Way contracts that he has already put in place, the agreements he has, the funding he got for all those things before he left government.
I'm sorry. The motorway was done by John Mahama, and people are saying things that the road is no longer as good as it was.
No. What I'm saying is the Tomamoto Way is gonna get expanded with flyovers.
Okay.
They've already done the part where it connects to Terma. If you actually head all the way, you see that roundabout at Terma before you go to Akosombo, Aflao, and all that. He's already done that.
Just talk in general, because when it comes to Ghana, Accra, I don't know no place. So just
so I'm telling you, listen to it. Okay. He's already done that. He's already had the funding in place to get that whole thing completed. The only piece that the current administration is worried about is expanding the road itself, so it's 3-way lanes on each side. But I'm saying even that, it's not even done yet. And this is the 5th year. Mahama had 4 years. And we are saying the resources available to Mahama is even not equal to what Akufo-Addo has gotten. And Akufo-Addo doesn't have a single thing to show for it. This should be a concern to every Ghanaian. We should all be concerned. Not because I'm saying Akufo-Addo is a bad person. He has not done anything to me. But I'm saying that this is a man who has all these resources and he has nothing to show. This is a man who met a total debt of 120 billion. He took it to 380. He's added 260 billion to our debt.
And you have proof of that. Because
it's in the budgets. Come on, you need to follow. Maybe you need to follow this thing. This is
can you tell me those facts? Because
Google the Ghana budget. But these are facts. Ajua, if you don't know these things, then don't make comment on these topics, because what it is these are facts that it's in the budget every single year. This is not me making it up, or this is not an opinion. What I'm stating to you is a fact. Akufo-Addo borrowed 260 billion in addition to what he met, and he has nothing to show for it. He has 3 oil fields generating oil. These are all facts. That even if you look at the budget that Akufo-Addo and his government present, all these things are in there. So, familiarize yourself with this. I'm sorry to say that, but get to read some of that stuff so that you can be informed. It's not me here, Amuzu, just spitting out stuff just because I don't like Akufo-Addo. Trust me, I was an MPP person. Matter of fact, I campaigned for Akufo-Addo in 2016. I wanted Akufo-Addo to win because of all the sweet things he told us.
Yes.
But he turned out to be a disaster. This guy has nothing. This guy, in the middle of a pandemic where people are dying, of course, the pandemic didn't affect us as much as it affected other people. You would think these people will have some sympathy for the public. But even in buying a vaccine, instead of connecting with the Russians and getting the vaccine that has an established price of $10, this guy went through a connection man and tried to get the same vaccine for $19 per jab when the vaccine was supposed to be $10. What kind of person is that? I mean, put people first. Put people first. You don't do this type of things and then you want me to clap my hand for you because I have to be neutral. I am neutral, but I am a concerned Ghanaian. Every Ghanaian should be worried about this.
Well, Ghana should come first. But as I said, everybody have their opinion, and if most of you are not seeing what
Adra, let me ask you this. Adra, I mean, I know me and you, we are not too much of a political person.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this. Let's be Ghanaians and let's be Ghanaians and let's talk outside from the box. Because we don't know what is going on. I mean, to be honest, I didn't grow up really in Ghana, even though I did a lot of stuff in Ghana. I didn't really grow up there. So I don't really know much about the Ghanaian politics and all these things. Recently, I started following, and then I realized that there's a lot of things that need to be worked on or done. Let's look at it on the. We should not look at it in the political arena. me and you.
I'm not a politician.
No, that's what I'm saying. So we don't even know much about what Alfred is saying. It's new to me. I don't even know. So but let's look at this. Let's look at it this way. Do you think, as of today, our president have done something right? I mean, what has he really done that you've seen? Even though it's not about NDC or MPP, just being a Ghanaian and look into what is going on in Ghana. What do you think our president have done?
I cannot comment on that because I don't follow things in Ghana politics.
Right, but you hear some things. So okay, me for instance, I'll put myself there. Alfred, let me
I could tell you what he's done. I could tell you exactly what he's done. They've introduced a curriculum for the last, even in education, right? This guy did free SHS or whatever. They've introduced a new curriculum for the last 2 years. He's still not giving these students a textbook. The textbook that they will have to study, the new curriculum in. Textbook is not available to the students. He's completely messed up our education system by even what is his flagship program. So this guy came to just do what? Chill? Because if you look at it, this is the president where 500 excavators were seized from people who they believe were doing illegal mining. All of a sudden, the 500 excavators disappeared until today. Until today, we couldn't find 500 excavators. You know what excavator looks like? You know how heavy excavators are? How can excavators just disappear? And you want me to sit down here and clap for this president?
No. I personally think that let me go back to Rawlings' time, because I believe that Rawlings' time we don't really know much. We just know who Rawlings was and things like that.
I know something about that because please don't go that further, because
I want to break it down to where
my parents lost a lot of money under him.
That was PNDC. That was PNDC. But I think the NDC time, the 1992 time to now, no, I don't think your parents lost anything.
Yes, they did. Because they did turn in the money and they never got the money back.
All right, let me.
They gave him the money for what? What did they give him the money for?
Okay, so this was what happened in the mid 80s, early 80s to mid 80s. Teachers, nurses, doctors, all the government workers were paid with 50 cedis note. That was the biggest money that they distribute to government workers. And when it was distributed to them, they were asked to return every single amount that was paid to them, because Lawrence felt that it was too big a money to be out there. So we have a lot of market people, because I have some family who sell tomatoes, who sells, gari, and so many other things. Those money was distributed to them, so they have no choice. They have to turn in the money, because he was going to cut another one, but because the 50 is too high, they didn't want to devalue our cities, okay?
Right.
And what the direction that was given, when you bring in the money, you make sure your name is spelled correctly, your date of birth, everything, because that's the only way that you'll be able to get your money back, okay? Right. However, my father traveled, my mom came abroad too in 84. So around that time, I wasn't even 11. And we came to live with our uncle. So both my parents, whose money they sent back, were not residing in Ghana.
Right.
Okay. So whatever receipt was given to either one of them, a 10-year-old will not have that receipt. Nobody will have that receipt. And with some you have market, people, some of them are not some
illiteracy,
of them
are not smart enough.
They don't have that capacity to say, so okay, I have a receipt from depositing this amount of money, so I have to save the receipt. probably you have some of them use it to wipe their, behind, because they did not, think that, because they were told your name, your date of birth, where you live, the address, and you should be able to get your money back. But fast forward, when it came to distributing the money back into society with the marketing, the market people, most government workers, they the instructions that went out was that in order for you to receive the amount of money that you put in, you need to show proof of you putting that amount there. So that means you have to bring the receipt. Right. Now there goes you losing your whole entire market money, because if you put everything in there, a lot of people who who does businesses, they became poor because their money was locked.
Yeah, that's true.
They couldn't get the money back.
That's true.
I couldn't get my parents' money back because I was not even a teenager.
So let's analyze that, right? So here's where.
Let me come before you.
Right.
So I this story is in the 80s, right? And I know my parents. I mean, I grew up in Mokola, to the Mokola Zongole. That is the center of Accra. So yes, I know much about trading and things like that. Yes, my family, my mother's side of the family, they are more of traders and things like that. So yes, most of them lost their money as well. I mean, most of them. Some of them get their money, some of them lost their money. Yes, but in the 80s. So I'm not really don't want to go. I don't want to go in the 80s. I want to start from the.
No, you brought.
I mean, we can go to the 80s. We can go to the 80s because
I know. But
Brother Black, you brought his name, and I said I don't want to go that far because, like, just with that, I just don't even want to, because a lot of my family were impacted. Some of them they never got back on their feet.
Right. But Black. Let's take that issue and actually look at it critically, right? So here is where the government has circulated, or some higher currency dominations were circulated, which is going to cause inflation. So rightly so, the government decided to retract those currency with an instruction: bring the money, but make sure your information is correctly captured. Okay? If you capture your information, if you go by the instruction that was given and you were not giving your money back, then we have a problem. But if you go and you give your money in and the information is not captured correctly, when it's time to get your money back, you're going to have a problem, because there's going to be fraudulent people in the system who would go and say they brought money, but they didn't bring the money. So the government have to protect against that. So what in this? I know your family has probably lost money, which it's bad. Nobody should lose any money. I'm not wishing that on any family, because that could be devastating. But what part of this has Rollins done wrong?
The fact that the directive giving, bringing in the money, and the directive giving, receiving the money was two different things.
Directive says bring the money, write your name and your date of birth and all those things, so that when you come back, we will look at that, reference that, and give you your money back.
Yeah.
And if you are not able to identify that with the receipt that you got, then we have a problem.
They did not say you have to bring the receipt. They say.
But how do you? I mean, come on. Why would they give you a receipt then you don't have to bring it back? Then there's no point in giving the receipt.
No,
just think about it.
No.
Then what store can you buy in America today and go back to the store and now without your receipt and get a refund back? Okay. So let's.
The directive
given about the 80s.
Hold on, brother Alfred. The directive that was given was that when you bring the money, you put your name, your home address, your date of birth. That's the three that is going to be used to identify that you got this amount of money.
Right.
Okay. And then when it was given to them, apparently they gave them receipt. But when they gave them receipt, they were not told, make sure you save the receipt and bring the receipt along. Because you have some people that was illiterate, okay? They did not know. My parents, the reason why my parents did not get their money, they were not basing in Ghana when it came to them receiving the money. But I have some family members that are home that are not, they have the lack of knowledge. A lot of them, they were like, selling certain things, but they were like affected because by the time that it came, the receipt was nowhere to be found because in their mind, we were told that your name, your date of birth, and your home address, but then they were not able.
So I think with this issue, it's not the government. Even though they'll blame the government, it's not a government problem. It's not, because if they issue a receipt, and because of illiteracy you did not keep your receipt right, even America here, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be tough because there are fraudulent people in the system. There are so many fraudulent people in the system who can just get your date of birth. Imagine your father went there, they told him, he already came for the money because somebody already came and said that was their name, but date of birth and house address, and got the money. So that is the importance of receipt. I'm an accountant, and I know receipt and acceptance. Receipt is very important in every transaction.
It is
so
important.
I don't know how you get the receipt for money you take to go put for the government with the promise that the government will return it to you, and you go and use that receipt for a toilet paper. But let me also say this: what we are talking about is not comparable to what Akufo-Addo is doing. Akufo-Addo went and seized excavators from people who they claim are illegal miners. Some of them turn out not to be illegal miners. Like if you look at Heritage turned out to be a legit mining company that has a problem with the government. So the government went and seized their excavators, and the excavators disappeared. That's what we are talking about. It's not like this is your receipt and you have to bring it back for them. The excavators disappeared. We are talking about a president who, in the middle of a pandemic, introduced 6 different taxes. In America, in this pandemic, we were all giving money. We were all giving money to pay our rent, to get grocery, to lessen the burden of the unemployment situation that has been triggered by this pandemic. We know they couldn't lock Accra down more than 3 weeks because distribution food was a problem. The town is not properly planned. They couldn't feed Accra. They couldn't do that in Kumasi, so they have to open it back up. Now, here's the thing. In the middle of that, you are saying that businesses have been affected. You introduce 6 different taxes. What are you doing to the people? That is a mismatch. That is somebody who doesn't have any idea what they are doing. If you think the economy was suffering before, how come in the middle of the pandemic, they are able to meet their revenue targets? You meet your revenue target. That tells me even in the middle of pandemic, the economy was running fine. There was not a problem. But the issues we have with the slow economic growth in Ghana is because of mismanagement. Akufo-Addo is just spending our money, not using it for anything. He asked Ghanaians to tighten their belts. In the same time, he flies private jets so he can take shower in the sky. This is an insensitive president. This president definitely need to go. He need to go because we've never seen a president in Ghana like this. All the presidents we've had, from Rawlings, Kufuor, Mahama, they all cared for the people. They didn't do things. They didn't live fancy lifestyles. None of them did that. But this Akufo-Addo government just didn't care. People can be dying and he wouldn't even make a phone call, an ordinary phone call. This is the only president who presided over an election where 8 people lost their life. And today, he hasn't even called them. And these are things that we are talking about. We are not saying that we hate Akufo-Addo. I campaigned for Akufo-Addo for 2016 for him to become president. But had I known, it's always, I'll end there so you can finish.
Real quick. I think.
Wow.
So those are the things we are comparing. We are not comparing it with people.
Oh my God!
We are comparing it with.
No. Don't get things twisted. I did not compare. Wait a minute. I did not compare nothing whatsoever. Brother Black mentioned Rawlings, and I just share an experience
that you have with Rawlings. So I
did not compare nothing. And you know what? I just cannot wait for Akufo-Addo to finish his terms and leave, and then you can someone who can fix Ghana for ya. Okay.
All right. We all can wait. I think that's one thing we all agree on. We all can wait for him to go. Imagine that Akufo-Addo was sitting there and his friend Alpha Condé decided to change the constitution in Guinea. And he didn't have anything to say to him. But when Alpha Condé was overthrown, here goes Akufo-Addo with a plane all the way to Guinea, begging the other president to let him go. For what?
Yeah.
I can comment on that because you see, I don't have as much information when it comes to politics. So if that's your information, thank you for sharing, but I'm not commenting on that. And
Okay,
I
but this is all over.
agree with all the former presidents, having the heart for their people. That is not accurate.
I don't think this is the this MPP regime is have really made.
Oh, I'm sorry, Noel. I don't need to go back to school.
Noel,
You need to go back to school, okay? So learn to respect your words. Mind your words.
Noel, we don't condone these comments like that.
I'm learning from Brother Alfred. You know what? When you don't know something, you open your ears, right? And you listen. Because when Brother Alfred was talking, I did not disrespect him. I listened to what he has to say. So you need to mind your words. If your emotional intelligence is shoved in behind you, take it and do that with that.
No, well, you have to.
Don't disrespect me. You don't know me.
We don't. Yeah, like
what the hell?
Well, we don't take these type of comments.
Yeah, Noah, we disassociate with those comments. Please be able to make comments, but do not attack us. Please. This woman you are looking at is a very educated woman.
Me being useless argument. Are you serious?
Nah, Mommy Oyodo is a very educated woman. She's just have a soft spot for Akufo-Addo, because somehow and we need to bring her back home. We need to bring her back home. To join the Ghanaians, the ordinary Ghanaian, not the ones who wants to take shower in the sky. She needs to be part of the ordinary Ghanaian. That's what I'm doing.
You know what, Brother Alfred, like when it comes to politics, you are so passionate and compassionate about it. And I was watching you, like, laying things down, in so many ways. And I love that because it's unfortunate on Saturdays when you're doing Ghana Agenda, I'm doing a program. So it kind of like conflict with each other. So I don't get to watch it live. I only get to watch it after the fact. So I can't contribute when you're doing it live, right? And stuff like that. But, within our society, when people don't know something, they pretend to know something. I'm not like that. I'm not going to pretend I know something if I don't know. But do not use the word useless because
that is strong words, and no, we don't take that at all.
Everything I have accomplished, anything, even if I don't have a clue of something that I'm speaking about, my words are not useless. Okay, so use your emotional intelligence productively. If you don't have respect for yourself, do not bring it out of here. Okay, take the step.
Well, we are sorry, but this is a team of 8 or something. Everybody have his own department that we talk about. This is Alfred's department, so he knows better than me. If you are a very learned woman, I mean, if you get to know her, you know what she has. She's not a joke.
No, I love pulling Brother Alfred leg because it's like you should see his face when he's. I
know.
It makes the show interesting. It also makes me give more. So it is something we do to kind of keep each other talking, and so it's not like somebody doesn't know.
Our listener or our viewer, Noel, we apologize. Madam Odo, for this.
Brother Black, you don't need to apologize. Alfred don't need to apologize. He needs to take his own advice. That's what he needs to do. Because you know what? Most of our people, they are so dysfunctional, so limited, anything, everything. If someone is not talking in their department or agreeing with them, the only thing that they can do is to result into insult.
And that's true.
People who insult, I don't have respect for them. And I see them that they lack of a lot of things. They are limited and they don't have any value or valid things for me to hear it. Okay, and that's why I address it. When I do program and people come on my platform and they come and disrespect, I will stop and put the person out there. If you don't have anything better to say, you take a step because you don't belong here. I don't care which party you're supporting. I don't have any political parties. As Brother Alfred said, yes, I do have a soft spot for Nana Akufo-Addo because he's from my tribe, okay? So I'm going to have a soft spot for him. But if there are some things that he should be doing that he's not doing, it's okay and it's good for people to fire. You know, they need to let him know this is not working for us. I don't disagree with anything that Brother Alfred said. What I said, if your mind is in your head and not your behind, you will hear what I said.
All right.
You know.
All right. No. Let's get this. Alfred, I think today we have a lot of political what do you call it? Viral videos out there. There's a guy who, for me, like I said, I'm not too much of a political guy because I don't know. I just look at politics from far. So because I'm more of the entertainment.
You have fixed the country, so you're not too far.
So there's a guy who came to. I think the president came to New York with.
You are about to make me even angrier. But say what you're about to say, so we can go. We can look into it.
There's a video that is trending. I don't want to play because of copyright issues and things like that. The name is he hopeless?
He's actually Hobson, but right now he's hopeless.
Hobson.
Hobson, but we changed it to hopeless since.
I mean, I saw the video and I said that the name is hopeless. Something, what was the last name?
Is he Adonia or something?
Sounds like that. Yeah, a noble. I mean, when you see this man, a noble man, you know, well groomed, nice, gray hair. I mean, looks, you know, but they came to the New York to look for
Hobson Adoye.
Yeah, hopeless Adoye. Yeah. So
Hobson Adoye.
Oh,
Hopeless.
Hobson.
But now we are going to call him Hopeless Adoye, so you are on the right track.
So I heard they came to New York to look for Trini Jonas. I mean, Alfred, tell me. I mean, let me start with Odo. I know this is our terrain. You know, this is what we know. We know about what is going on social media.
Yeah, but Black, finish the story so that she can go.
So what I'm trying to say is that I'll start with Odo. Why would MPP people will come to New York to look for Trini Jonas because he doesn't have the right papers to live here to be deported back home? Does it really make sense? My sister, I'll start with you. What do you think of this issue?
You know, like, it's so funny you asked me that because the day that I saw the video, I was like very disgusted, very disappointed, and I just felt that it was childish behavior. As a grown man, a prominent person or a former prominent person in place, and you have a position or you used to have a position, what business do you have? You know, because Trini Jonas is not someone that I watch.
And he's nobody. I mean,
I don't watch him because when it comes to people that insult, you may be saying something productive, but it does not give me anything beneficial for me to go on. If you disagree with someone, you just speak up your mind, okay? Effective communication is very important.
Yeah.
So, like, the fact that, you know, as to whether or not he's been fired from his car parking lot, that's none of their business.
That's right.
If he's living at somebody else's home, that's none of their business. Social media is a place that you can make anything possible. So if someone wants to like brag and someone wants to talk about their millions and whatsoever, if it's true or not, that's none of my business because I don't live my life based on what other people have or does not have.
That's right.
It's not me, right? For me, I focus on myself. I talk about things that are more important in community with our life in general. And also sometimes just have fun, because Makaamaka, it would not be my choice of a program that I will come on. But when Brother Black, you and I talked, and you told me about Brother Alfred, Kid King, and so many, Brother Boga, everybody comes in here with different aspects. I was like, ooh, now that's something new I can try.
That's
right? So it's like, a lot of times, you can jump into a ship, but I jump into this ship based on our conversation that we have. I knew that there's going to be some topics that I'm going to be limited with, but how do I learn or acquire knowledge from that aspect? By listening to those who has the information. Last week, I said the same thing I said this week when Brother Alfred talked. I was like, I don't go with hearsay and stuff like that. And he didn't back away. He gave me more information, because it's like you pushing someone's button. And he gave me a lot of valid information that I can use. So if I'm speaking with someone and the person is coming like, so innocent, like I came in life, I can actually educate the person. Was like, well, I have a brother named Brother Alfred, and this is the information that he has, and it's not hearsay. It's something that you can actually go and look for it on the internet, right? So I'm not speaking with an empty barrel. I'm not speaking to the air. There are some facts backing what he said, right? But then when you have people who do not understand things, the only thing that they do is like, okay, this person is not that. So what they did is just foolishness, in my personal opinion. It did not impress me. And also the fact that they are, one party. It's like, what are you talking about? Yes, Trini Jonas, he attacked Nana Akufo-Addo, he attacks a lot of the prominent people, but it's not only them. He attacks the kings and chiefs and so many, everybody. It's like he goes after everyone. It's not just the NPP people, right? But you know that NPP is in power. So of course, a lot of you going to have to take a lot of backlash, because not everybody is happy. But the fact that you travel to abroad, you travel to New York, and then you go and like, oh, this is where he stands, and just who cares? But apparently some people care because he got views, But me personally, I didn't care. It's just childish, and it's not something as a prominent person should do, because that's not something that you bring yourself to his level. So, like, what's the difference between the two of you? So that's my thought on that.
Alfred.
Yeah. So this story has several different aspects of it. The understanding actually is that Hobson flew on the private jet that the president is paying $14,000 for a day to come to the United States. Now, that is the allegation. Whether that is true or not, I don't know yet. Okay. But it is the allegation out there. Not only in Hobson, but also there's a gentleman who's supposed to come to my show, and we are working the details to see if he'll make it. Mr. Bempa, also Bempa. I bet also Bempa. He's also there. They are there going after people like Kevin Taylor, Trini, what is the name? Trini Jonas, and the other one, there's another one. They are going after the people who sing Kweku skets. They are going after the people who say one or two things bad about Akufo-Addo. But this is not anything new. You saw when Akufo-Addo actually fired, matter of fact, as the Auditor General, Domelevo, the one guy who was investigating corruption cases under him, Akufo-Addo asked him to go on leave. Right. When the guy went on leave and came back, Akufo-Addo went and said, "Oh, by the way, your birthday says you are 60 years old, so go on retirement." Just because he put a set charge on Osafo Mafo. When Osafo Mafo went and hired a company that didn't do no work but got paid. I don't know if you remember that story, Madam
Yes,
Odo. Do you remember that story?
Yeah. Hey, you remember the story?
Our Auditor General, Daniel Domelevo, Dominic Domelevo, who was fighting crime. If you actually took the government money and spent it wrongly, he audited the company, he audited you and put set charges on you. One day, he actually went and audited a contract that was given to Crow Associates. That Crow Associate didn't do any work, and this contract was given by Osafo Mafo, a special whatever to the president. And because of that, that matter actually went to court. Because of that, he asked this man to go on leave, by forced leave. He said, "Oh, by the way, your record shows that you haven't taken leave for the last 2 or whatever years, so proceed on leave."
But wasn't he there for that purpose, though? The purpose of him being there was to investigate, right?
Was to do audit. That's his job.
Oh, okay.
He's the Auditor General of Ghana. He audits all the public accounts of Ghana. That's his job. But because he was doing his job, our president asked him to go on leave. When he came back from leave, our president asked him to go on retirement because he's 60 years old.
That does not look right.
It doesn't look right. That's just one. The special prosecutor that our president appointed, Martin Amidou, when the president and his people, Gabi Otridaku, and who is his cousin, his own another cousin, the Minister of Finance, who's what's the Ken Oforiatta, when they cook this Ajapa deal to take our gold royalties and put it in a special purpose vehicle and form companies that would pretty much take over our gold royalties. When the special prosecutor look into that transaction and look at whether there is fraud involved, he interfered with the special prosecutor. He told the special prosecutor to come and meet him. Matter of fact, the special prosecutor Amidu has been working in this government for almost 2 years. There was not a single day that the Minister of Finance paid him a visit. But when he started investigating that case, the Minister of Finance went and visited him at dawn on Sunday, 5 a.m. For what?
Wow.
To discuss what?
Brother friend, please hold on a minute. How old is Akufo-Addo?
What are you? I want the question again.
How old is
I think he's 77 or 78 or so. Yeah.
Okay. I asked that because the fact that he's over 70 and he is the president, right? Why would he turn around and
good
ask
question.
someone to resign or go to retirement when he's way above the age of the other
even after that, he appointed people who are over 70 years into positions in government. So it is just like he doesn't want a Domelevo there. The whole thing about Domelevo resigning, go and look at how many people are 70 and above who are in government. Too many of them to count. So this was done purposefully just to get rid of Domelevo, and Domelevo is the person who was fighting crime and corruption. He was fighting corruption. He was actually doing his job. But our president doesn't want to fight crime. That is why his own special prosecutor called him, he is the mother sapient of corruption. He is the one who orchestrates all the corruption deals. It's not like the deal is coming from anywhere else. It's coming from the office of the president. That is the problem.
That is a strong... Oh, wow.
It's not coming from me. It's coming from the special prosecutor that he appointed.
And he resigned, right? The one that
resigned. He resigned because the special prosecutor came and told us that I am resigning because the president interfered with my work.
That's not good.
Can you imagine? I resigned because the president interfered. Even the president, after firing Domelevo and put his own person there, he came to tell us now that his own person is doing a better job than Domelevo. And what is the better job he's talking about? The better job he's talking about is his own person that he put there also unravel so many fraud situations. In this government has supervised over the most fraudulent government ever. The most fraudulent, like those days, when they do the audit, you see people stealing a couple of millions, but right now, it's several hundreds of millions that are being revealed. So he said, this new auditor I brought is doing a good job. A good job in what? Unraveling several hundred millions of dollars that your administration is spending unnecessarily and can't account for it.
All right, Alfred, let's jump into Mami Odo's terrain. There is a video I know how Fred you sparked like what do you call it? The president moto what do you call it? Escort.
Motorcade.
So let me slow it down. We have about next 20 minutes to round the show up. There is a video that I don't know if it is a church or they went to whatever they went to, but the women are praying for their husband against side chicks. Let's listen.
They will look like excreta to you. They will smell to you. They will smell to you. They will smell to you. Pray, 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 pray. They will smell to you. It's only me you will desire. It's only me you will desire. In the name of Jesus. In Jesus' beautiful name we pray. Look at his face now. His face must have changed. Has it changed? Yes. Has it changed? Yes. You look now cooler. It's now cooler. Can you romance him and say, baby, you are looking better?
All right. Let me end here. Let me bring Odo in there so that Odo can tell us.
What a wow. Hey, lack of knowledge, my people perish indeed. I mean, like, this is like looking at, having a concert party. I mean, I'm sure you have some of the husbands with their head in on top of their underneath their wives' breasts or like on top of their stomach, and they're thinking the minute we leave here, I'm gonna get me a shot and go to my side chick. But it's a whole lot. Being able to have a noble, respectful, faithful man does not require that, because a lot of times, you have a lot of women and men who do not have understanding with marriage. Marriage is two people in there. It's not one-sided, and it requires work, lots of work. Like when you go to school, you have to finish your courses before you get certificate. But with marriage, you don't do any work, and then you are given certificate. Nothing good comes without hard work. So you have a lot of wives who are not do not know how to have effective communication. Even if their husband goes to work, they forget that there could be traffic. So my husband get off at 5, he might be home, give him 2 hours. But then you have some wives, when the husband gets home within 2 hours, they're being accused of, being with a side chick, even though they're not with someone. I bet you some of the accusation, the assumption, and the back and forth, complaint and stuff. Some men, they don't want to have side chicks, but the wives are pushing them to go outside because they're so fed up with the noise. Because some of us women make so much noise that it hurts your brain. There are some men living in their marital home. Their police about is not even getting up because the wife, the dressing the wife has in place is like great grandmother. There is nothing to show. There are some wives, living in their marital home. They're not taking shower and they stink. So it's like there are so many things happening within a marital home. A lot of men are suffering. You have some wives, they want the man to go down there, and the minute they get there, they might be unconscious for the rest of the week. So a lot of times, this kind of things, is just foolishness. You want your married or your husband to pay attention to you. Learn how to dress well. Be sexy. It don't matter how many children that you have. Talk to your husband, making sure that they understand where you're coming from. A lot of men says women talk, but if some men do give us time to listen to what we have to say, they'll be way better off. They will excel. Because I remember when when my husband and I got married, the 2.5 to 3 years, we both struggled. We struggled so much. Like we were having arguments, disagreements, every petty stuff. We were turning that into argument. There were days and days I live in the house with my husband. I wasn't talking to him. He will want to talk. He will greet me when he comes from work, and I'll just pass him like he's not even there because I didn't want to talk to him. I didn't understand marriage at the time, right? So it's like there was like constant unpleasantness, unhealthy, toxic. Like my marital home was toxic. That's because, you know, I wasn't paying attention to the things that my husband was saying to me, and he wasn't paying attention to me. The place that I work with autistic children, and when we got there, we had to go for training. Give me a sec. Kay, your voice is coming in. Would you like to go to the other room? Thanks, honey. So what happened was that when at that job, we used to have to go to training, seminar, and you know, Century model. It teaches us how to manage your emotions well. When someone provokes you, what are some of the ways that you can redirect the person? You know, exercising patience, doing this. So as I started learning different things and dealing with different behavior with different children with autistic behavior or like aggression behavior, we saw transformation. So I said one day I sat down and I was like, oh my gosh, why am I not implementing this to myself? So first I had to like use it on me. I will practice in the mirror. I will stand in the mirror when nobody is at home. I was like a mad woman talking to myself in the mirror just to practice to make sure what are some of the ways I can talk to my husband for him to understand me. So once I started doing that and I felt, you know, good enough about, you know, certified with my approaches, different approaches and stuff, I approached my husband because his things, some of the things that used to set me off in the beginning was like, when he says something that hurts my feelings and I want to talk about it, he'd be like, well, I apologize, so it should be done and over with. That did not sit well with me because like I need to talk about things, you know, to really let things go. Because if you're telling me to forget about it, I feel like you just disregarding me. Okay, so my feelings are not as important to him as it is to me. So in the beginning, it was difficult because he was still not, you know, getting where I'm coming from. So I have to like, you know, I let him know I'm going to tell him the things that I'm feeling. If he doesn't want, he doesn't have to speak. Okay. And then I'm using my active listening. I brought a book and I was writing his complaints and everything. And I did not cut him off. I did not disrupt him. And then once he finished, I repeat everything that he said. I was like, did I capture everything? Did I leave anything out? Or is there something you need to add it? And he was like, no, you got it, and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? These are some of the things that you have told me. I'm going to work on it because I know it's really important to you. And then he went, you know, he reflected my own words to me, saying that all the things that you said, you know, I'm also going to be mindful of it and work on it. So from after 3 years, we were finally able to really have effective communication in our marriage. My husband and I talk, we laugh at each other, we laugh with one another. He's not someone who likes women, you know, like he's not a womanizer, but I'm not being naive and saying that my husband cannot be provoked or he's not going to see another woman and feel attractive to that woman. Because as women, when we see some guys with 6 packs and stuff like that, we do take a sneak peek, you know, we look and all that. No, I'm not. That's what I'm saying. And if we see a man, you know, walking on the street dressed nicely and very presentable, we do take a sneak peek because sometimes I see some things on some people. I'll be like, ooh, that shirt will look nice on my husband. This is the type of things that we need to do with our husband, we need to spend more time with them. We need to make them feel precious. We need to treat them well. Sweet talks and, learn how to talk well with them. I think that will help. But, bringing them to church, putting them on top of your stomach underneath your breast or on top of your genital area, we're not going to do that.
Help. Alfred, let me bring you
man.
in. Let me bring you in real quick. We have about next 10 minutes, but this will take let's say a minute or two to. Do you think this is right for the pastor to even preach about this and pray about this? I mean, do you think? I mean, tell me what you think. Because I mean, in that video, the pastor was actually reciting things for them to pray about it and things like that. Do you think God really listened to things like that? Or
Well, what I think I saw going on is not necessarily. Let's remove the God from it. I think this is a counseling session, right? The pastors have assumed so many roles, and some of the things they actually say in the church is just a straight up counseling that they preach. In other words, or for lack of a better word, putting your husband's head there or whatever, you should be doing that anyway. I think women should be doing that at home.
That's right.
Not in church.
That's right.
Okay. But you don't need your pastor to tell you that. If you have your pastor telling you that, then there's a problem. Look, if those who are listening to their pastors and therefore having their husbands do that to them, all right, if their husbands actually asked them to do that at home, they would have said no. But because their pastor is saying it, they are doing it. And that is the problem. So there is a fundamental problem. A lot of wives don't listen to their husbands, but they listen to their pastor. Their pastor says this, that's what they are doing. Their husband can say the same thing, but who is he? The place we put pastors in our society need to be kind of re-looked at. People, people, common sense. They throw away their common sense and take the words of their pastors as if it's the guidance from God. It's not. Just use your common sense. If you're in home with your husband, listen to your husband. When he said, most of the time, we the men, we feel like we're not being listened to. I'll say something to my wife, and then she will not listen to it. She will go and then get advice from her friends. And the advice you get from her friends, then she'll start doing the same things I told her to do, which makes me even more bad because what we discuss at home should not go out.
That's right.
You don't need to go and get validation from outside for what I tell you should be. If you're gonna end up doing it, if you have 2 or 3 instances where you've actually had discussions with your husband and you have to go outside and get validation and came back home and did the same thing your husband tell you, it will teach you a lesson that's going forward. We can have discussions at home and we can respectfully agree on the things that we should be doing. So that outside people, the one thing I hate most is somebody from outside, not from my house, knowing my story when I did not go and tell them. Why is somebody in my house telling my story to other people outside? I hate that. So the pastors, they have a role in society. They can be a source of good counsel to our wives, husbands, whatever or girlfriends. But it's not. They are not all in all. Certain things can be done at home. The basics can start at home. If you get up every day, you show affection. Pretty much what this pastor is asking the wives to do is to show affection to their husbands. Bring your husband close. Hold him. Get him close to you. Men wants to be held too. Trust me. Men wants to be shown that they are wanted. Show that you want this man. And he wouldn't go looking for side chicks. But if you just don't care about him, even if he wants to do whatever, sometimes you're like, oh, I'm tired. I'm from work. I'm tired. Okay. What is going to happen is there's going to be some side chick involved. But if you show this man that you want him, that he's all that you dream about, when he close from home, he's close from work, he's running home to you.
Yeah.
Okay. But if he feels like he doesn't want to come home then there's a problem. Some of men are in a relationship because they are children involved. Otherwise, they would. It's cheaper to keep their wives than to go and get another woman and be paying child support. So it's so what I'm saying. Bottom line is that what is the same thing. Mami Odo says. Communication, very key. Communication. Let's learn to respect each other. Let's learn to listen to each other. I mean, listen when you're having even a conversation. It could be an argument. Somebody can be shouting at the top of their voice, but pay attention to the big picture. What is it that this person is trying to tell me? He may not be delivering it in the right way, but there is a message in there. What is the message? Yeah. I mean, forget about all the bombasticness that comes with the delivery and all the emotions that come with it. Concentrate on the big picture. And the big picture is, what is this person trying to tell me? Does it make sense or it does not make sense? If it doesn't make sense, Mami Odo says, communicate.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I like when I hear my own voice
I
sometimes.
know, right? It sounds more sexier.
I'm telling you. So bottom line, I think my sister has already captured it. The pastors pretty much are doing basic counseling, some of the things which are common sense. You were in a relationship, do the same things you were doing when you were in courtship. When you get married, the fact that you change ring doesn't mean the courtship is over and then all of a sudden this chaos and these two people who doesn't understand each other. I mean, it makes this whole marriage thing become so stressful. Yeah. We should go away from the stress. We should always be reminded of why we actually married in the first place. And be able to do better communication. The emotions get involved, but let's learn to minimize our emotions. Like my sister said, there are books, there are other ways to kind of find, because people think marriage is easy. It's not.
No, it's not.
It's really not.
Yeah. All right.
And on that note, we're gonna be quiet. Yeah.
So there's one more picture I want to show. Just 30 seconds. We all will put our input in there for 30 seconds, and then we'll run the show today. Exactly to 3:14. 3:14. We are done. Alfred, I know we are done because it's a 2-hour show. So let's do this. I came across this very article. I'm not pregnant. Takrady lady converses, and so I'll start with you again. Just 30 seconds. Tell us what you think about this story. I know you've heard about it. Next week we'll go in deeper and know what really But within 30 seconds, tell us what you think.
It breaks my heart. To see that out there. She needs psychological evaluation because and these things happen. Let's not mistake that. We do have a lot of women all over the world, who will fake pregnancy. Sometimes it's through desperation. Other times is that they have some sinister mastermind plan, like working with someone who has promised them a child because they having problem conceiving it. If I am her husband, I will have a DNA with their first child to make sure that he is the father of that child. I mean, it's really sad. I saw a video of the family. Yeah, some of the family member, diabo, like, cursing and all that. At the end of the day, because sometimes there are some reactive things that you do, it might come back to you because it shows that with her confessing, the family cursed themselves instead of cursing people from outside. So we have to learn to be patient. And when information comes to us, we need to be able to get all the facts. Making sure, because professionals are professionals. When a woman has a child, a lot of things go inside us. Ye stomach ne crow for some months. Okay, enti ma menum bi na ya omoma ye mu bi etna nsuo so na omo de kafa guma na say ye guma entutuo no ekoye mu yesi e no nso no se wo ye ne too much etimi kum your feelings no enti no te say wo bosome krampo na doctor examine wa obehu say wawo because there are some disruption. And I don't think say no one say it will go this far. So no. Whatever her reasons were, no, and no, and yet clear for us. I just hope that she will get the help that she needs. But I really truly think that there are some mental health issue going on, psychological stuff going on, traumatic if something going on, because and somebody is behind it. It could be somebody in her family or whomsoever, but they need to get her some help. I'm sorry to hear that, because it's just disheartening.
Okay, Adra, give us your last word as well, and then we'll, and then I'll put Alfred on.
Okay, my last word is that when we come here, we all come to learn, share information, and just sometimes ask questions when you don't have all the answers. I always this is, I think, my 4th time coming on with you guys, and I gotta tell you, Brother Black and Brother Alfred, I have done program with you guys, the two of you, the most, and you guys have so much knowledge in a lot of things. I see that Brother Black and myself, when it comes to politics, it's like we don't know much. Brother Alfred, continue to do the work that you're doing, because a lot of times people will be like, okay, you speak, you talking, nobody's listening to you. Yes, people are listening to you, because when you do your program, there's no insult. Okay, you sharing facts, and you share with a lot of passion, and I love that about you. Like, before I had a program with you on Makaamaka, I did watch you the day before with Ghana Agenda, and when I saw you on Makaamaka, I was like, ooh, I'm dead. But you consider it and stuff, and Blood of Black, the fact that you do all, okay, and it's just an honor to be here with you guys. When Sunday comes, I'm looking forward.
Nice one.
Because when we come on, it's 2:00 on my end, and I truly appreciate all of you. I haven't met the whole team yet, but I appreciate you guys, welcoming me to your team, because with the WhatsApp, stuff, I do put in my input here and there, and the responses have been very positive, and that's how we develop. That's how we learn from each other. So I'm just going to continue to learn about politics, but I know it don't matter. It would take me a while, Brother Alfred, for me to catch up to you. So kudos to that for both of you. And also the audience, viewers, and, we thank you guys for coming, and we would like for you guys to make contribution. If you don't understand something and you feel that I don't know anything, you can also educate me on that, because I love to learn.
Nice one. Alfred, in 5 seconds, what do you think about this very article? And then your last
I
word.
wasn't actually following the story. I mean, I've seen it on a few platforms, but I didn't read the details behind why she was gone from home and found somewhere, and even the pregnancy issues and all that. I didn't follow that part as much as I wish I did. But the only thing I want to say about that is these are the problems we have. And, you in a marriage and you're faking pregnancy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not like you even went outside and got pregnant so that we are saying that you have a baby actually in there. You actually, my understanding is she was putting a silicone or something in there, right?
Right.
Just to feed the stomach. It's mind blowing,
Yeah.
I mean, do you not sleep with your husband for the whole time that you've been faking it? Because if you sleep with your husband, I mean, where is the silicone when you go to sleep with your husband? So some of that is difficult to follow, but that is true. You see, here we are. I don't even follow some of these social issues as much as I wish I was doing. So that tells you that on this program, we each have our areas of specialty.
That's
Like
right.
I go reading all the political materials that I can find. Black, you look for all the social issues, and we have a homegrown counselor, somebody with a psychological and sociological background, so that sometimes the emotional charge that I bring, sometimes she diagnosed me by the time I leave the program that maybe I should come down a little bit. So I'm saying that to say that we all have our individual strengths. And
That's
so,
right.
viewers, that is the beauty of this program. And I just wanted to share that with all of you, that it is not that one person, this is not even a political program. We just bring that little piece of it because I'm on the program and I'm representing the political flag, or I'm holding the political flag. Our dear sister holds the counseling flag. She's actually the glue. She kind of gets it all together. In other words, sometimes I go off track, and then she when I
She'll
listen
bring
to
us
her
back. She'll bring us back.
when I listen to her comments, she says a lot of things indirectly, which
Yeah.
I hear her clearly.
I'm just trying to see if you still up.
Exactly. I hear her very clearly, and I just try to use
Yeah.
some of the counseling I get from her myself to guide my delivery. Because what we are doing here, again, for me, is learning to public speak. It's learning to be convincing. It's learning to tell my story. It's learning to present a storyboard of things that I have in my head. It's not easy to say the things you have in your head in a coherent manner for somebody else to understand. So that is one of the things that I use programs like this for, and everybody kind of helps me do that. Everybody pushes me with questions that perhaps I may be asked when I go elsewhere on a program. That's here gives me the platform for practice, and I enjoy it every single day. And in the process, I'm sure I share some information that people may be interested in as well. So on that note, those are my last words. I think I combine it with my thoughts on the lady's picture.
Yes.
But I'll say that if you haven't really seen the program I did yesterday, please go and watch it. It's very informative. I'm working on bringing somebody powerful from the MPP side as well, so we can have a conversation. What we do is, to set the agenda for Ghana. We try to understand what is going on with our country. We are overseas in the United States, but like Sami Jemfi said the other day, think about Ghana always. Let Ghana be in your heart all the time. Try to follow what is going on back home. There is a need to actually improve leadership at home, and you may be the right person, or you may be the one who will come and give the best contribution that the country needs. So please follow the country and follow what is going on in Ghana. Thank you.
That's nice one. That's Alfred Amuzu, the political guru. I mean, my intake on that very article is that I think in Ghana, right, we look at things and then we just laugh at it, and we just laugh at the issue and then move on. But we have to take mental issues very serious. I think Ghana have to invest in that. I don't know if our medical departments have those counselors and things like that. Well, this is a mental issue. I mean, how can you live with a man and then fake pregnancy, and then according to what I'm hearing, the stomach's becoming bigger, or wearing some fake stomach. I mean, things like that. I don't know, but I think she needs strong counseling, and we have to take mental issues very serious. These are one of the mental issues that we have to take it serious. But why are we really really enjoying this? I ask my people, why are we really enjoying this, and then we are not talking about the security of Ghana? It's like that daylight robbings and things like that are pushed away, and we are talking about something that, I mean, that's an individual issue, but national issue we don't really talk about it very well. But next week we'll talk about security issues in Ghana. Daylight robbing, people are getting shot and things like robbing people daylight and things like that. We'll talk about that. But it is Makaamaka. We are a family, like Alfred said. We have so many materials that we come together and talk about issues. Like I said, Adro don't have his own skill set that she brings on board. Alfred has his own. I have my own. Cutie Queen, Boga, Berry. We all have our own that we bring on board. So listen, when you come on Makaamaka, please respect our page. No insult. You can attack the message, not the messenger. So attack the message. Please leave the messenger alone, because that is what we do over here. Thank you so much, guys. Next week, same time, I know we'll come. The team will be set. The conversation will be ready, and we'll bring a lot to talk about. I mean, we have so much to talk about, but we can't finish. Every week, man, Ghana, every week something happens. Every week there's something going on. But it is what it is. Alfred, next week I want us to tackle on the political arena. I want us to tackle about. I want us to tackle, or you tackle the issue of, or give us more of the security aspect of our beloved country called Ghana. I'm a Ghana. We want to know, because it looks like there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. So,
yeah, I could give you something quickly. Somebody just posted that on the Trend Africa TV group, and it's funny. So here is the case. The former member of parliament, MP for Kwanza North, Eric Amwaten, I don't know if you remember him. He was arrested for trafficking cocaine, even though he was a member of parliament in 2005. This means his release. Now, our president and Akufo-Addo putting him on the board of narcotics control. Can you imagine?
Whoa.
So
that's gonna be hot.
Whoa. All right.
Yeah.
We'll do that next week. Let's talk about
We'll do that next week. Yeah.
I'll look into that, and then we'll do that next week. So, my friends and my family, my sister, my brother, just from now, next week, same time, Makaamaka Freestyle Sunday will be here. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Royal Black is Fiaba, Makaamaka. Entertainment and sports, Makaamaka. I say politics, Makaamaka. Royal Black is Assembly Safwa, Bia Assembly Puno, Sanepi Adekami, Ekome Yakotokumi, Ekome Yamisebe, you want love fake hanging, Makaamaka. Royal Black is Fiaba, Makaamaka. All the trending issues, Makaamaka. I say politics, Makaamaka. Entertainment and sports, Makaamaka. RBJ Diaba, where you fool from crowd. Asemi Safwa, yeah, Asemi Puno. Sasemnaba, yeah, Becca. Senya Betino, Sabape na Yebekano. Makaamaka, Akasane Kwedewo. What by you no ni one na jeno na ke. What by you no ni one na jeno na ke. Say your politics RBJ Becca, or Becca, a sports RBJ Becca, or Becca, entertainment to RBJ Becca, or Becca, trending issues RBJ Becca, or Becca. Makaamaka, yeah, Diabao, Becca. Makaamaka, yeah, Diabao, Becca.